one of my best dancers from the Midwest. Say hi.
How y'all doing out there?
Okay, can you first tell us background about yourself?
Well, my name is Stephen Southall from Gary, Indiana. Been dancing for over 20-something years. Been teaching for about 14 years. It's my passion. Love it with all my heart.
Okay. So how did you get started dancing?
Well, actually, it was by mistake. Honestly, it was by mistake. I never had rhythm. I always got made fun of when I was little. So it was kind of like like I always tell my students, don't be scared to do something. If you try it, you might like it, you might love it. Except I tried it, and I got made fun of. So it was totally reversed for me. My father was such an alcoholic when I was younger, and one day it's about like 3 o'clock in the morning, came in with his drunk friends, threw a tape in my old VHSs, VCRs, came in, threw a tape in my head, middle of the morning, 3 o'clock. Woke up scared, like what's going on? Just so happened he watched this tape, come in here and entertain me and my friends. 3 o'clock in the morning, little kid, I wasn't no more than 7 years old. And the tape just happened to be Michael Jackson. So put the tape in. And by this time, like I say, the way we came up, I was so sheltered, me and my sister and my brother, we were so sheltered. I was the one, I just didn't know how to talk to people. I was kind of scared. I used to always look down, didn't know how to communicate with people. So when I saw this man, Michael Jackson, it wasn't even about the dancing. It was more so about how can this man walk on stage and get everybody's attention by just standing there. I wanted that. So I didn't even think about the dancing. And then last minute, my father came back in there and he like, you ready? I'm like, give me one more minute. I watch as much as I can. Because I'm scared, like we all scared of my father. I knew I probably would have got beat or something like that if I didn't know what I was doing. I'm sitting there trying to put as much in my head as possible. I learned to do the moonwalk like everybody else do, little pelvic thrust, all that type of stuff. And they were so drunk. They were just happy to see me dancing. And I felt like I was entertaining them. I've been dancing ever since.
Wow. So is Michael Jackson one of your biggest artists to dance to?
My biggest artist. I don't look up to no other dancer. I never have, ever. He was my teacher. Watching the VCR, fast forward, rewind. Fast forward, rewind. That's how I learned. Even today when I'm dancing now, there's still a little bit of Mike in me. No matter what I do, I'm a hip hop dancer. Michael Jackson wasn't a hip hop dancer. But just like me, he influenced everybody. I mean, regardless whether it's singing, dancing, but as far as me, it's nobody bigger and nobody ever will be bigger.
So you said that your dad gave you a tape to watch. So say that he never gave you the tape. What would you think you'd be doing?
At this point and at this time in my life, if I go back then, probably on the street somewhere, honestly, as far as that. Because I would have came up different. I didn't have nothing to look forward to as far as dancing. That got me excited to see that. So I probably would have went totally left field. I mean, I did go left field actually coming up. But at that particular time, I was so young, dancing wouldn't have been no type of thing. Now, if you ask me that now, if I wasn't dancing, acting. I just love to entertain people. So dancing and actors and actresses, we all in for the same purpose. We like to please people. We like to draw people in. And what better way to get in front of people? You can't be scared. I used to be real shy. I'm talking about, my head was down like this. I couldn't even look at people like I'm talking to you right now. Back then, I probably would have been like this. But dancing brought so much more out of me other than just getting in front of somebody doing some movements. I didn't even have to talk to nobody. I can dance, now they come to me. And that's what I try to tell my students now. I mean, like I said, I done had students try to commit suicide. I done had students close to almost committing suicide. Students running away, and dancing was their outlet, just like it was my outlet. So it's so much more than dance when you think about it. And even though my father, he was kind of wrong as far as the way what he did to us coming up, still love him to death, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be sitting right here talking to you. See what I'm saying? So it all is like a full circle.
So you said that when you was growing up, it was kind of left field. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, as far as like my mom's, now I look at her, my mom was strong. And I can actually say, even though we had my father there, And then this is not to diss my father. I mean, I'm pretty sure people had a lot of fathers there that was just doing something different. He tried everything he could, but it didn't. You know what I'm saying? It was my mother basically doing everything. She was the mother and the father. So I don't know. I mean, when it come to that, looking back, if I can repay my mother with anything, money wouldn't be it. It'd just be forever love. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I love my mother. And just to think back, I could have been on the streets. I could be dead. I could be anything. But I think back of what my mother went through to make my life and my sister and brother's life a little bit better. Because if I'd have followed my father, I'd probably been robbing people more. And when I say that, I have done that in the past. Like I said, I flipped my life totally around. From robbing people to getting robbed, to getting shot at, doing everything stupid.
So, tell us a little bit, how did you get into the studio business?
The studio business, the first person I ever worked for was a lady named Lynn Knight, and she was real big time when I was coming up. I was 19 years old, fresh out of water, fresh from Cali, and like I told you, she, if it wasn't for her, honestly, like I said, I wouldn't be sitting right here right now. Just because of the fact she taught me the 8 counts. She taught me how to slow my own movements down and make them into 8 counts to teach, because I used to teach so fast and like I'm a freestyle dancer. So she broke everything down for me, and once thank God I'm a quick learner. She taught me the ballroom. I didn't know nothing about ballroom at all. And one day she came to me, she was like, "Steve, you want to make some extra money?" I said, "Doing what? Ballroom?" I mean, coming from Gary, like ballroom? I don't know nothing about no ballroom. She taught me 6 dances in 30 minutes. The next day I had to teach, I think it was like 40-some people. But I had to go in there and act like I've been doing it my whole life. But that's where the dancing comes from. Like I say, I can open up to the point where when I meet somebody, I can read them. I read them just like that, and I bring them into me. I don't care how old you are. You can be a kid, you can be 7 or 70. Dancing just did so much more for me other than teach me a couple steps and teach me rhythm. It taught me how to read people and read people's emotions. Because you gotta remember, I'm black. So when you went to the ballroom world and then you do got a different culture, you know what I'm saying, a different race, and you like, they don't know what to expect. The first time I taught a ballroom class, I walked in there with some jeans, a white baggy t-shirt, and some gym shoes on. And everybody in there was 50 and up, dressed like, just dressed. They look at me like, "You are a teacher?" I'm like, "Oh my God, what I get myself into?" But I switched it and I made them have so much fun, they forgot about what I had on. So, and they learned something. So, it was great.
Okay, you say you're from Gary, Indiana, right? And you are black. How is it that you're teaching a different race? How was that for you?
It was hard at first. It was hard at first because coming up in front of all you came up black people. That's all it was. So not only did my actions have to be different, the way I talked had to be different at first. That's what I thought. Until I just became myself. I said, if I just be myself, either they go love me or they gonna hate me regardless. And as I got older, I just started noticing people is people. It ain't about color. I mean, whites, blacks, Chinese, Asians, leprechauns. I don't care what you are. It really don't matter. If people see the genuine side of you and how you are, they gonna love you regardless. Being in the dance world, especially I do teach majority whites. Don't have no problem with who I teach. I don't go looking for students. I teach whoever God sent to me. So the main thing with this is I always get, he only teach white kids. He only do this. I get this all the time. And I hate that because I teach anybody that want to learn. I mean, and that it does piss me off. Honestly, it pisses me off just because of the fact that I understand everybody's not blessed with parents that can afford all this. I didn't. I didn't even know what a dance studio was until I turned 14. And so some of these kids that I teach right now, I got 7-year-olds that's in here that can probably be some future stars because the parents can afford it. But then when I go back home, I go to the urban cities or the inner cities, we got parents that don't even want to attempt to put their kid in a dance studio. Not all of them. Some of them just don't want to do it, some of them can't afford to do it. That's why I go back and I do some classes for free to anybody that want to learn. Because I just love to see kids doing something positive. Now, when I do come out here to the like a Chesterton or a Valparaiso, Dyer, Cherville, like I say, when I walk in, they treat me just like I mean, I am light skinned, so you wouldn't know if I was white or black or Puerto Rican or whatever unless I told you. But it's not about that. It's just all about the person and the personality. And I told you I can read people, so I can adapt to any situation, no matter who I'm teaching. Now, for somebody that don't know how to do that, it might be a problem, honestly. I can go and wear something just like this in a ballroom setting. And I probably can, like I say, I can go in there and still command that class like it was nobody's business. But the stereotype of dancers, like male dancers, people always want to say, oh, he's gay, or he's this, because in the dance world, you do get majority of the guy dancers are gay. And some of the best dancers around. No, I'm not gay, but I don't have nothing against gay dancers or whatever. I mean, whatever you are, talent is talent. I don't care. However you want to put it, you go out there, you give 100%, and you put your heart on that floor. That's what people see. Now, the people that still want to judge you, the hell with them. I've learned. I used to get so mad when people say this, he's that. He's a pretty boy. Look at him. His eyebrows look better than most females. You're damn right they do. I make sure I look good when I go out because that's what I like. And it's me. It's my business if I want that. But that still doesn't make me a different person just because I want to look good or I want to be approachable. You never know who you're going to run into with. Being in Hollywood, it teaches you.